and recorded if anybody wants to check out the slides or anything later as well. So today I'm going to be talking about graceful aging. This is a really popular topic because there's different types of let's say anti-aging approaches, right? There's the aesthetic approach, there's the internal approach. And so we actually are going to be talking about both in one, because if you're doing it right, they are one and the same. So I'll just give a moment for everyone to get settled. And also, Veronica, do you know if there's a way for me to mute everybody? There's a lot of background noise, but I think I'm not the host, so I don't think I can do that. So, or if everyone could just mute themselves, actually, that would be great. Okay, perfect. So Veronica is just on her way home with Catherine. So I'm just going to kick it off. So I think I know a lot of you already. For anyone I don't know, my name's Sarah Brando. I'm a nutritionist and researcher. I'm the director of nutrition for a stem cell company. And so I get to help individuals find really powerful solutions for their different health problems. And of course, aging and prevention is huge. We always want to get ahead of things. We always want to be preventative. We want to be proactive, not reactive. And so the methods that I always utilize are internal, treating the body well through food and lifestyle. So I'm going to share some slides, and I apologize. I am in front of a beautiful, beautiful green jungle here, but there are wild roosters. So if you hear all the roosters and stuff, they're just running around, living their best life. So don't mind the roosters in the background. Oh, Veronica, I can't share because I'm not the host. Can you please give me privileges? Hopefully she can give me privileges. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk. But I like sharing the slides. Visuals, humans are visual learners. I myself am very much a visual learner. So I like to look at things and, okay, perfect. I see that I'm the co-host. So now I will share. Okay, perfect. Can someone give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? I think everyone's camera's off. So, okay, yeah, good. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about healthy habits for aging gracefully, but a non-toxic approach. We are living longer lives statistically as a population, but not healthier lives. And so that's why my focus is not on extending lifespan. I always talk about extending health span. Health span is the number of years that you are healthy, the number of years that you're able to actually enjoy your life and participate in the day-to-day activities and things that you want to be able to participate in, to be able to be there for your family, participate in different community activities, to be able to completely take care of yourself and live the life that you want to live. So our focus when we're talking about anti-aging is always on health span. People tend to focus on the physical signs of aging. They see graying hair, loss of muscle mass, lower collagen production, skin dullness, age spots as the biggest issues. But actually, when we talk about anti-aging, those things are very aesthetic. Of course, they're not ideal for the most part, but what we really want to be focusing on is the immune system. What can we do to keep away weakened immunity and reduce strength? How can we challenge these, let's say, widely considered normal aspects of aging, health conditions like arthritis? We know that arthritis in many cases can be reversed through diet and lifestyle. I've guided many people through that process. Just random aches and pains, it's inflammation in the body. So how do we lower inflammation? How do we decrease the risk of the major killers in the United States? Things like heart disease, stroke, dementia, even cataracts behind the eyes. A lot of that can actually have a nutrition and lifestyle component too. So what we see right now commonly in society is two different forms of malnutrition. So malnutrition was formerly associated with not eating enough food, accelerated aging, and really poor health due to lack of calories. But we're also now seeing malnutrition due to overnutrition is the term. And overnutrition means eating too many calories, but unfortunately, most of those are from highly processed foods and they're actually devoid in nutrients. So people are taking in more calories than ever, yet we're seeing more nutritional deficiencies than ever. Over 80% of Americans are deficient in magnesium, which is an extremely key mineral that we require for so many bodily processes, not only sleep and relaxation, but we require it for our muscles, we require it for our brain, for our healing. I could go on and on and on. We really need magnesium. It's a very, very key mineral, and it's missing in almost everyone's diet, despite most people in the United States being at least overweight, if not obese, and taking in all these excess calories. The quality of food is absolutely terrible. Now, we can't talk about aging and disease without talking about epigenetics. So the simplest way of explaining this is our genes are essentially, they say genes are what's in the gun, but your lifestyle is what pulls the trigger. I believe it's Dr. Caldwell Estelstyn who made that quote, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. So basically, we are given this gun, and it's loaded with what could be our genes, but whether or not those genes express are based on how we live our lives. So it's like a light switch, basically. Somebody with the gene for breast cancer, the BRCA gene, is less likely to get breast cancer if she's living an extremely healthy lifestyle, free of alcohol, free of processed foods, low stress, as opposed to somebody else eating a standard American diet who doesn't have that genetic predisposition. So we know that our genes are not our fate, but what can we do to change our genes? That's where it becomes our responsibility to live the best life that we possibly can as far as our health goes. And that comes down to our food. The biggest determinant of epigenetic changes that accelerate aging, accelerate disease in the body and the brain, which is important as well for neurodegeneration, so Alzheimer's, dementia, it is coming down to the foods that people are eating. People are not eating high quality foods, and they're not getting important key minerals, which are required for cellular health, for our mitochondria to function. So some of the top foods that we want to be consuming are foods that are rich in vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals. So that's going to be plant foods. Phytochemicals or phytonutrients are a very wide diversity of very important plant compounds that, for example, antioxidants. Those are required to neutralize free radicals, to pull toxins out of the body. So some of my favorite, this is what I use in addition to a healthy plant-based diet, which is my diet of choice for getting the maximum amount of nutrients in. So green spectrum, this is just a green powder. 1 teaspoon has a significant amount of the minerals that you would want in one day, including iodine, a necessary nutrient that is missing in a lot of people's diets due to extremely poor soil quality. Magnesium as well. Ionic Elements is an amazing source of liquid magnesium, which most people are deficient in, and it's causing numerous health problems. AlloDigest is a gut repair. I'm going to talk about my 2 favorite gut repairs, and AlloDigest is one of them. This actually ensures that you are able to have very good digestive and microbiome health, in addition to Biomedic, my other favorite product. And what we do when we take these things is we actually can help to reduce intestinal permeability, so leaky gut is the more common term, to actually seal up let's say the gut lining is the simplest way of explaining it, restore those intestinal villi, those tiny little hairs on the small intestine that actually help us to extract nutrients. And so when we have better gut health, we have better absorption. But for individuals who are on this journey who might not have the best gut health, which is most people, there's a war on the human microbiome right now through pesticides, chlorine, antibiotics, processed foods. While you restore your gut, taking in things like raw dehydrated green powders, like the green spectrum, which is extremely high in minerals, and Ionic Elements, which is a liquid, you can put it under the tongue and let your body absorb it rather quickly. These things are a really good workaround for somebody who doesn't have the best gut health. I would love to tell everyone to have a giant blender with a huge green smoothie full of fresh ground chia seeds, tons of leafy greens. That is amazing, and I definitely recommend that to people. However, if someone doesn't have good gut health, how are they going to feel after that smoothie? They're going to feel bloated, they're going to feel gassy, they're going to feel uncomfortable. There might not even be a really high absorption of those nutrients that they're taking in if they don't have the bacteria in their gut to actually break down those plants. So that's the journey while we move towards healthier eating as a population. And I love things that are, for lack of a better term, shortcuts. You know, they say there are no shortcuts, and there isn't really a shortcut because the company had to grow in very high quality soil, dehydrate, and package these greens for us. We just get to take the shortcut by ordering them directly. But between the green spectrum and the Ionic Elements, I know as a nutritionist that somebody's baseline mineral needs are going to be met. And that is the most important for me, knowing that they're in good cellular health. So that's why I highly recommend combining gut support with minerals. And that is extremely important for anti-aging. We also can't talk about aging without talking about exercise. All the studies are extremely clear. People who exercise their entire life age slower on an internal and external level than those who don't exercise. But the actual number came from Harvard. So if you exercise regularly, you will gain about 2 hours of life expectancy for each 1 hour of exercise, which is incredible. But this only applies if you exercise regularly, at least a few times a week. If you don't, if you just exercise here and there, that benefit doesn't exist. So let this be an encouragement to make exercise a priority in your life. Try and get moderate intensity exercise, at least 20 minutes a day. And if you can do more, that's even better. For anti-aging, for your skin to glow, even if you have a great diet, don't forget your water. I have these 1 liter jars and I drink 2 of these a day, plus some herbal teas. And then I know that I've got my water intake properly. So whatever works for you, create a system. But this is a good system, even though there's no perfect number. If you drink about half of your body weight in pounds, in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, drink 75 ounces per day, and that's going to hydrate you. That is going to be important for detoxification as well. Constipation actually stops us from removing estrogens and things like that from the body, from toxins. And so staying hydrated is extremely important for detoxifying, and of course for the skin, for hydration. I'm sure anyone's noticed, if you're ever really, really dehydrated, your skin doesn't look as good. You have more fine lines. It doesn't look as plump. Then toxins in food. These also accelerate aging. Glyphosate is one that I talk about all the time because I truly believe this is one of the biggest threats on human health right now, because it's one of the biggest threats on the human microbiome. Glyphosate is an extremely toxic, genetically modified herbicide. Well, it's used for genetically modified crops, and it kills everything that hasn't been genetically modified to resist it. This was allowed in the food system because human beings don't have the same cell wall as a plant, and so it was believed that it actually wouldn't be able to affect our cells and our mitochondria in the same way. And there's some fraudulent things done in studies to make it seem like it wasn't quite as harmful to the skin. But the reality is over 55% of the types of beneficial bacteria that live in our microbiome, the ones we need to break down plants, they are negatively affected by glyphosate. So one thing you can do is take organic products, take organic superfoods, and support organic farmers wherever you can. The other thing is to detoxify it. So these are the top glyphosate-laden crops. As you can see, it's in a lot of things. So unless you are eating 100% organic, and you're never eating at restaurants, and you're never eating anything off this list that you don't know is from an organic source, you're going to be exposed to glyphosate. And so the healthier you are, of course, the healthier your microbiome is, the more you're going to be able to remove this toxic crop these toxic crops and their residues. You can also do what I do and take Biomedic, which will remove 74% of it in 6 weeks. And this is also an all-natural food-based product. If anyone saw my supplement science webinars, they're on YouTube. I do not recommend synthetics. I typically recommend, I'm always in favor of the lowest risk intervention, always, which is going to be trying to do things through food and lifestyle and safe, natural, clinically proven as well supplements. So, and what's really interesting about Biomedic as well, it detoxes that percentage of glyphosate from the body. But if you look, reduce CRP. CRP is C-reactive protein. This is the inflammatory biomarker we look for in someone's bloodstream. It doesn't tell me why they're inflamed. Somebody could be diabetic, somebody could be an insomniac, someone could be suffering from all kinds of different conditions. I don't know why they're inflamed. It's a non-specific one, but the fact that Biomedic, regardless of the source, was able to reduce C-reactive protein by that significant of an amount shows you how much inflammation is actually stemming from the microbiome and the gut. And what happens when we actually start to clean up our gut to remove these toxins, how people start to feel and how they start to improve is absolutely incredible. So I'm a huge advocate for Biomedic. I think this is one of the most important products right now. Then for personal care products, you want to avoid toxins in your personal care products. These will accelerate the aging process, and they also just add to cellular toxicity. And we want to minimize toxins as much as we possibly can. When we have too many toxins in our body and we don't have the ability to detoxify them, we end up we have too many free radicals, let's say. We end up in a state of oxidative stress, it's called. So we always want to be outnumbering the amount of toxins, the amount of free radicals in our body with more antioxidants. And that's why I recommend the raw dehydrated green powders and taking in a lot of plant-based organic superfoods, a lot of antioxidant rich foods, a lot of greens and pigmented foods, things that are going to help you to offset that amount. And of course, just check out what you're using. Use this guide. They don't have every brand, but it's a good one. But you can look up individual ingredients, which might be a bit time consuming the first time you purchase something. But if you purchase something once and you know it's safe, you'll keep using the same things over and over. So it's only time consuming in the beginning. But I don't purchase things that I haven't run through this database. If I don't know the brand, I'll check the ingredients. And now you're able to navigate the line of clean beauty, clean home products, things like that. Women tend to have significantly higher cellular toxicity than men, because of cleaning products and beauty products. For the most part, they tend to be exposed to these things more. So hopefully that is changing, and the bulk of housework is not going to be put on women forever. But whoever is using the cleaning products in your house, it is extremely important to make sure that they're passing your guide to safe personal care products. What our body does in order to clean out the toxins that we're exposed to through these products, through unhealthy foods. The process is called autophagy. This is how we clean out the dying, damaged cells to regenerate newer and healthier cells. You want to be in a fasted state for autophagy, so try not to eat too late at night. I'm a big fan of breakfast, but I'm not a big fan of late night eating. So when people do intermittent fasting, I usually tell them to switch it. They're kind of doing it wrong. Most people, especially women who are more hormonally sensitive, do better with a big breakfast and eating smaller throughout the day. This is what I do for cellular detoxification. I already talked about these, the AlloDigest green spectrum ionic elements. That's going to cover your minerals, which are very important to keep your cells healthy. Biomedic and AlloDigest, I have them one on top of the other because you kind of use them interchangeably. AlloDigest is a good alternative for somebody who is extremely gluten sensitive or celiac. Many people don't have a problem with it, but there are trace amounts, smaller than the serving of gluten-free pasta, but there are trace amounts of wheat germ extract or wheat in there from the wheat germ extract, which is a potent detoxifier. And studies have shown it's helpful for EMF toxicity as well. But just in case while someone is on that healing journey, or if they're extremely sensitive, AlloDigest will work as well, just a little bit slower. I like to mix it up, so I interchange the two. And then I already spoke about ionic elements and green spectrum to meet your mineral needs. Then fulvic zeolites, that is not something that you need to take every day forever. You take that periodically, finish a bottle, wait a couple months, take another one. That's how I do it, unless you are heavy metal toxic and you want to go a bit more aggressive in the beginning. Fulvic zeolites are zeolites. They're negatively charged, and they're able to actually remove these positively charged toxins from the body. So the positive ions, basically. We can also get negative ions in this positive negative charge, because we are electromagnetic beings, through just putting our feet on the dirt, walking through the sand, grounding outside. All of these things are really beneficial. But to get in and start detoxifying on a cellular level, that is my lineup. And those are the things that I use. That's what's in my rotation. Then this is a super controversial topic that I'm not going to spend too much time on. But when you look up, I was looking up anti-aging when I was creating these slides, and these are all of this is the first page that came up. It's all people getting stuff injected into their faces. This is what anti-aging is to us as a society. And I think that really reflects the values that we have. I always mention how toxic these products are because a lot of people don't know. I'm pro informed consent. And as I mentioned, I'm pro low risk intervention. And I don't believe that most doctors and nurses who are administering these drugs are actually letting people know how dangerous they are. I know a lot of women with something as simple as recurring UTIs, urinary tract infections, who didn't realize that this was coming from their Botox, bladder issues. And there's a whole list of things here. And if somebody really wants to go deeper into this, there's a really good Instagram account called Botox and Filler Side Effects where you can see. It is much safer to try and take care of yourself from the inside out, to not have to worry about any of this giant list of things here. These products are becoming so common. It's becoming common to, and just people are going and getting injectables on their lunch break and going right back to work and not thinking anything of it. And we have to be very careful. Some of the side effects from things like dermal fillers can happen months, weeks, and years later. This is not to shame anybody who uses these products. If you know me, I would never do that. I completely understand why. And I believe that a lot of people just don't actually know the risks, and they don't know that there are alternatives, that there are safer things that you can do externally and the things that you can do internally to try and plump up collagen so that you don't have to take on any potentially life-threatening things. Diets that are associated with IGF-1, so insulin like growth factor 1, accelerated aging, are really high protein diets, eating a lot of animal protein. Regardless of whether you choose to eat animals or not, we know that eating a lot of them is not associated with a longer lifespan and with the different biomarkers of health. So moderation is definitely the key, as well as choosing organic. Ultra processed foods as well, these expedite the aging of the cells. So you will want to have a lot less injectables if you're somebody who uses injectables or anti-aging treatments, if you really grasp the importance of mineral dense foods, non-toxic beauty, and getting all of your nutrition from the inside out, and just avoiding all of these foods in the picture, avoiding the fried foods, the processed foods. And this is going to help you to produce more collagen. And collagen is like a Velcro, basically. When we're young, we start off with our bodies being about 20% collagen, but that decreases over time. And how quickly it decreases is determined by what it is that we are consuming, essentially. So how do we create Collagen, we need protein, silica, antioxidants, and vitamins. So protein dense foods, really high quality proteins, super aminos. I take these are the highest quality. These are pre-digested plant proteins. They are, so even if someone has really poor gut health, like I mentioned, their absorption isn't good, the super aminos are really incredible. Silica. So that is something found in things like bamboo shoots, the young bamboo, horsetail, which is not an actual horsetail, it's an herb, algae, green spectrum. That powder that I showed you has a lot of dark leafy greens and algae. So that's a really good anti-aging one. Also broccoli sprout powder and other really amazing anti-aging ingredients. Then of course, antioxidants, some of these nice pigments, the anthocyanidins, these are what make things really bright, like in tart cherry juice. It makes it a really dark pigmented color. These are so good for collagen and for supporting clear and healthy skin. And of course, vitamins. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. We need vitamin C to store collagen. So dark berry protein, for anyone who's used this product, you know how amazing it is. It makes a delicious, delicious smoothie, but it also has all the collagen support. And Renew Hair, Skin, and Nails, which is a really good pair with it, that has all of those precursors to help you build collagen that I talked about, the horsetail, the silica from the bamboo. So that combination is really, really good for anti-aging and for collagen support. Doing things from the inside out is always going to look and feel so much better than doing things synthetically. And also too, when we're injecting something like Botox regularly, that actually causes muscle atrophy. So it looks good in the beginning when the forehead's very smooth and doesn't move. Over time, you're atrophying and damaging those muscles. And as we age, letting a muscle atrophy, letting it become weak and unable to hold itself up is the opposite of what we want to be doing with any muscle in the body. But that will eventually actually create more sagging skin and more of a dependency on these products. As I mentioned, vitamin C is a really key nutrient for anti-aging. There's a list here on the side that I can share after as well that I made for the stem cell clinic. So that has all the different vitamin C rich foods. And then superfoods, C from nature, is a really natural way of getting it. This is an amazing product that I really like. Intense cold as well. This is very good for collagen production and for the skin. So you see people getting in ice baths. If anyone's wondering if that's just a hype, it's not. Ice baths actually are really effective, and so is cryotherapy. The research is early, but we really see that there are incredible immune system and collagen production benefits there. And things like spices are great ways to get more antioxidants into the body. Things like turmeric, just adding some oregano, parsley, basil to your food. You're adding so many antioxidants in, and you're adding flavor as well. The most potent antioxidant rich food in the world, the highest on the ORAC scale, it's called, is something called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is an algae, and this actually will reduce your body's sensitivity to the sun. This is something I take regularly because I spend a lot of time in hot places. I typically live in Mexico. I'm in Indonesia right now. So this has been very important for me for protecting my skin from sunburn and also protecting from free radical damage. Then beauty sleep, we regenerate while we sleep. So having deeper, more restful sleep and having a consistent sleep time is really beneficial. Tart cherry juice concentrate is a great thing to take before sleep for anti-aging. This is actually one of the most well-studied, let's say, I don't want to say supplements because it's a superfood, but let's say it's a well-studied holistic intervention to help you sleep. And it outperformed valerian root and sometimes melatonin. I don't advocate for melatonin supplementation because it is a synthetic and it is also a hormone, so it can have other effects and create dependencies. But tart cherry juice is a natural and organic way of doing this. And there's a lot of studies. If anyone wants to check out PubMed, just type in effective tart cherry juice on melatonin levels, and you'll see that this actually helps to boost your own melatonin, to have you producing more instead of taking in a synthetic pill. And that will help you to have deeper, more restful sleep. It's also extremely high antioxidant, high on that ORAC scale, like astaxanthin, and it is so good for your cells as well to get those antioxidants in and to prevent free radical damage. Your gut bacteria are linked to your circadian rhythm. Why this is important: if you want to have deep beauty sleep, try to eat at the same time every day and try to go to bed at the same time every night, and your body will respond. We are creatures of habit. Our bodies love habit and routine. And of course, more healthy plant-based meals, plant-forward meals as well is another way of saying it. Just adding more plant-based foods and more colorful foods. If you see here in this photo, that's purple broccoli, purple cauliflower. I've seen yellow cauliflower as well. The more different types of plants you can get into your diet, the more different nutrients you're taking in, different polyphenols, different nutrients, different antioxidants. And if you want to repair your damaged DNA, these are also things that work. So fasting safely and in a controlled environment, meditation and breath work, these slow down aging from the inside out. Prayer, saunas, steam rooms, and doing these things to detoxify yourself. And then, of course, the reason meditation, breath work, and prayer work, even journaling works really well, is because it's taking this time to sit and to calm your nervous system and to focus and inwards. And that actually has benefits on the nervous system, which calms you down and moves you out of this fight or flight state. And then, of course, avoiding the toxins in personal care. I shared with you my database, Skin Deep, that I love to use. You can just Google Skin Deep database and that will come up. Or you can go to the Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, and it's a free database. High intake of vitamin C, lots of minerals from your different plant foods, getting sunlight, avoiding those peak hours, and just moving your body regularly, getting that exercise in. So that is all the information I want to share on anti-aging, on clean beauty from the inside out. I hope that that was helpful, and I will pass it off to Catherine now and Veronica. See, they're both on the
Yes, thank you, Sarah. You rock this. This is jam-packed. I am so excited. I'm really wanting to go a little bit deeper into how what we're eating is helping our own collagen production, because you mentioned a few things there, and just so I get my head around it.
Okay, yeah. These are very complex scientific topics that I try to squeeze into like a 25-minute presentation. But basically, we're really good manufacturers of collagen. It's not so good if we just take in preformed collagen. It's the same with glutathione, the master antioxidant. So why the supplements don't really work. So what we want to do to be good manufacturers are we have to give our body the tools, aka the precursors or what they're called, to do this manufacturing process. So we want to build the house. We need the foundation, we need the bricks, we need the tools. So we want to build our house of collagen. So the precursors we need are a good source of protein, quality, clean protein. We need antioxidants, so good source of vitamin C. We need silica, which is coming from the things I mentioned, and even cucumber skins as well. A lot of plant-based foods have silica. And so when you have this combination of the amino acids and the antioxidants and the silica, you become a good manufacturer. Your body has the tools it needs to actually create more collagen from the inside out. And that will show up in your skin. And of course, hydration. You have to drink lots of water as well.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. You always have so much knowledge, and I'm so grateful when we get to have these moments. Does anyone have any questions? Is there anything that you really want to ask, that you really want to know? Anyone? Isabel. There you go.
Thank you for this presentation. My name is Isabel. So I know there's just been a rise of food allergies. I have family members that have them, and myself included, and it's been years. But I'm hearing more and more cases of people being allergic to strawberries, celery, kiwi. So, that's a target market I'd like to, pursue and help and support. And get more curious on like celiac disease, because that's starting to get really prominent. And so I just want to understand from your scientific perspective how that all plays into this.
Yeah, I have done an entire 1-hour presentation on this. So I'm going to see how I can condense this into 1 minute. But the easiest way to explain this is lack of diversity in the microbiome. So the more things somebody is sensitive to, and we're seeing this with carnivore diets, right? Out of desperation, people are reacting to everything. So they eliminate almost everything except one food group and their symptoms go away. This is a sign of an extremely damaged microbiome. The healthiest people can eat the biggest variety of foods. You should be able to have so many things. Why we ended up in this state of low diversity, tons of pesticides on our food, glyphosate, as I mentioned, so detoxifying glyphosate and supporting organic farming are two integral pillars, let's say, of reversing food intolerances. and adding that bacteria back into the gut. So until we all have our own beautiful organic garden where we're eating, fresh fruit or vegetables, dusting the soil off, taking a bite, we're not getting the bacteria in. So the way we can rebuild it is through diet diversity, eating at least 30 different types of plants per week. So if you look at some of the main products that I mentioned, things like Green Spectrum, I didn't mention Power Shake, but that's just a staple. It's like our liquid, delicious multivitamin shake we take. We got the tart cherry juice, and whatever you're eating in your day-to-day life, it's really easy to get to 30 plants per week, even to 50, which is the golden standard. So if you're hitting those numbers, you're going to start to actually add all these different types of various phytochemicals and nutrients, and also different types of fibers into your body for those gut bacteria to eat. If you want to accelerate this process, fermented foods, things like sauerkraut, kimchi, I like coconut kefir. Kombucha, not really. Too much sugar, not enough bacteria, but you kind of get the idea. Make sure there's no vinegar in it and add these fermented foods in slowly. The more food intolerances somebody has, the worse they're going to react to the fermented foods. And so if you don't have that many, you can probably have quite a bit. And I have a presentation somewhere on YouTube on the microbiome that I can share as well, and how to start to recultivate your gut. And diet diversity is the way to do it. Fermented foods are a really good way to add the bacteria back in so we can thrive on plants. That's a huge part of the reason why I've been able to thrive for 13 years on a completely plant-based diet, where many people have not. And it's because I focus on my minerals, I mentioned, with the Green Spectrum, the magnesium, the ionic elements, and my diet is very diverse. I do a lot of raw foods, and I change up what I'm eating quite a bit with different available fruit and vegetables and things like that. But getting your minerals in and fermented foods, this is a huge tool that wouldn't be necessary if we were all living, let's say, the way we should, where we have local, very high quality foods grown in high quality soil, but our soil's dead. So we have to make do, and we have to get our bacteria from somewhere. You can do it without fermented foods. It just takes a little bit longer. But the minerals for your cells and Biomedic to actually pull out those toxins from the gut is so important. Biomedic was one of the biggest blessings to my nutrition practice in the last 3 years, because it allowed me to give people a solution. I've been talking about glyphosate for 10 years, and I couldn't tell people what to do about it other than just don't buy GMO foods. And now all of a sudden I have a solution that I can actually offer to people where they do notice a difference. People who are in worse health, it takes about 3 months. So for them to really notice anything, but for some people, they'll notice in the first 2 weeks. It really depends where you're at. But that is a tool that really helps. And then things like ionic elements and fulvic zeolites to charge your cells with minerals so that they're not weak, so they don't pull in heavy metals when they've got enough of the proper minerals that they need. But we really have to heal the gut, and we have to get enough minerals in and enough diet diversity if we're ever going to talk about eliminating and reducing food intolerances. Food intolerances are only going to go up. We're moving in the wrong trajectory. If you buy fruit and vegetables from the grocery store, they've sprayed them with chlorine so that you don't get salmonella or E. coli. There's a reason why. It's not just to attack you, but at the same time, there's a consequence of that, because even when you rinse off that celery, when you rinse off those strawberries, all those pesticides are not going to come off with it. A lot of them can. If you soak them in water, a little pinch of sea salt, it helps. But we really need to be supporting organic farmers and investing in getting as big of a portion of our diet organic and free of these toxins as we possibly can. So I could keep going on about this, but I won't. I hope that was helpful.
So helpful. Thank you, Sarah. A lot of what you said reminded me and Catherine about how the trajectory of the world and the way of the world is toxicity, and it's increasing and compounding. And it's actually through prayer that I found Biomedic. It was an answer to my prayer, and how much God does have solutions for us here and now through amazing people doing amazing research and bringing these products to market. And then we get to share it far and wide, and really prayerfully holding the people who are close to us to that standard of choosing with their choice power, with their free will, what is meant for us now, that we get to thrive. We get to have a diversity of plants, beautiful ingredients that actually bring that beauty of the world that God created into us, so then we can shine his light brightly. So thank you so much. And I think I might close it out in prayer right now. God, thank you for bringing us together and all of the power of knowledge that you have bestowed upon us, that we get to share, we get to care passionately for your creation. And we do that in choosing how we eat and who we share these times with. It is a scary time to be in the world. I cannot tell a lie. You are guiding our feet, our hands, our mouths in every single moment so that we may be growing in your joy and glorifying this creation for your name. Amen.
Amen. Also, I just want to share, we're opening a workshop that's going to dive deeper into all of this. It's going to be a 3-day workshop, and we will, do you want to drop?
We'll post it connected to where we shared the replay.
Yeah, we'll connect it together, but it's a 3-day workshop and we're gonna go really deep. So we're hoping that Sarah will join us for that. And yeah, that'd be okay, awesome. And thank you so much, everyone. And just know that we are here. If you have any questions, get back to the person who invited you. Also, if you have questions, you can reach out to any of us. We are here for you because we are on a mission. We are on a mission to share this with the world. So please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us because we are here for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah,
together.
so much.
Thank you.
You are so amazing. I just love
Thank
your
you,
knowledge, your
everyone.
heart, what you're creating in the world and who you be in the world is just so powerful and beautiful. And we just really appreciate you.
Amazing. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone. Be beautiful.
Go shine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.